Imagine standing at the edge of an abyss. Before you opens a world of rugged peaks that rise into the sky like cathedrals. Glaciers shimmer like frozen dreams in the morning sun, while deep below, emerald green lakes lie like jewels in a valley of pure gold. This is Switzerland, a country that unites on an area smaller than Bavaria, a natural diversity that is second to none. Here, where continental plates once pushed against each other and formed Europe's most dramatic landscape. But what makes this small alpine country such a natural wonder? How did these monumental mountains form, and what secrets hide behind the postcard-perfect facades? If you like what you see here, feel free to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating documentaries about the natural wonders of our Earth. Join us on a journey through a country that proves sometimes the greatest wonder comes in the smallest package. "300 million years ago there was ocean here. Africa drifted slowly but relentlessly northward, and between the continents the rock folded like paper. What today are the Swiss Alps was created in a geological drama of unimaginable dimensions. Switzerland is a living history book of the Earth. In the rock layers of the Sentis, one finds fossilized marine animals, silent witnesses of a time when tropical seas surged here. The Monte Rosa, with over 4,600 meters, the highest peak standing completely on Swiss soil, consists of rock that once lay on the ocean floor. But the Alps are only part of the story. Switzerland is divided into three major landscape regions. The Alps in the south and east, the Mittelland as the green heart of the country, and the Jura in the northwest, each region a chapter in the geological chronicle of Europe. The glaciers of the last ice age then ground the final contours. They planed out valleys, created lakes, and left behind a landscape of archaic beauty. Today, only 2% of Switzerland is covered by glaciers, but this 2% tells the story of millions of years. There are mountains, and then there is the Matterhorn. At 4,478 meters, it is neither the highest nor the most dangerous peak in Switzerland, but it is without doubt the most famous. On July 14, 1865, Edward Whymper reached the summit with his team as the first. But the triumph turned into tragedy. During the descent, 4 mountaineers fell to their deaths. The Matterhorn had claimed its first victims and established its reputation as an unpredictable giant. What makes this mountain so special? Its shape is the result of millions of years of erosion. The Matterhorn is a pyramid of 3 different rock types, shaped by glaciers that gnawed at it from all sides. The result is one of the most perfect mountain forms in the world. But the Matterhorn does not stand alone. It is surrounded by scenery of glaciers and 4,000ers that make Zermatt one of the most spectacular places in the Alpine region. The Gorner Glacier, one of the longest in the Alps, flows here like a frozen river through the mountain world. Every morning when the first rays of sun touch the north face, the mountain turns red for a few minutes, the famous alpenglow. A natural spectacle that draws millions of visitors into its spell every year. (3,454 meters above sea level lies one of the most fascinating destinations in Switzerland, the Jungfraujoch. Here, where the air becomes thin and the horizon seems endless, engineering meets alpine majesty. In 1922, the Jungfrau Railway was opened, a masterpiece of technology that bores through the interior of the Eiger and Monch. The construction took 16 years and claimed 30 human lives. Today, the highest cogwheel railway in Europe brings thousands of visitors daily into this high alpine world. The view from the Jungfraujoch is breathtaking in the truest sense of the word. In the south rises the majestic Jungfrau at 4,158 meters, one of the most distinctive 4,000ers of the Alps. Its name is deceptive. The Jungfrau was first climbed as early as 1811. But the true attraction lies at the feet, the Aletsch Glacier. At 23 kilometers in length, it is the longest glacier in the Alps and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Like a frozen highway, it winds between the peaks down into the valley. Scientists from all over the world come here to research climate change. The Aletsch Glacier loses about 50 meters in length annually, a dramatic sign of the changes to our planet. The Sphinx Observatory on the Jungfraujoch, located at 3,571 meters, is one of the highest research stations in the world. Here, not only is the weather monitored, but also cosmic radiation is researched. Switzerland possesses over 1,500 lakes, from tiny mountain lakes to the large alpine lakes. They are the blue jewels of an already spectacular landscape. Lake Geneva, French Lac Léman, with 580 square kilometers, the largest lake in Switzerland. Here, where the Rhone and culture meet, nature created a perfect stage for one of the most cosmopolitan regions of Europe. The Lavaux vineyards on the northern shore are a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a masterpiece of harmony between man and nature. For over 1,000 years, grapes have been cultivated here on terraces that descend like stairs to the lake. Lake Lucerne, however, tells a different story. With its fjord-like branches between the mountains, it is perhaps the most dramatic of the large Swiss lakes. Here, Switzerland was born, at least according to legend. On the Rütli meadow in 1291, the representatives of Uri, Schwyz and Unterwalden are said to have laid the foundation stone for the Swiss Confederation. Whether legend or truth, the landscape is worthy enough for such a historic moment. But the true jewels are the mountain lakes. The Oceanen Lake, nestled between steep rock walls at 1,578 meters, altitude shimmers turquoise blue, like a piece of sky that has fallen to earth. Each lake tells its own story. The Blausee in the Kanda Valley owes its mystical color to tiny lime particles that reflect the light in a unique way. The Trebsee above Engelberg lies on a high plateau, and in winter is a frozen dream of ice and snow. Switzerland is not only a landscape of stone and ice, it is also home to an astonishing diversity of creatures that have adapted to life at extreme altitudes. The Ibex, the emblem of the Alps, was extinct in Switzerland at the beginning of the 20th century. Only through a daring smuggling operation, Italian ibex were illegally brought across the border could the species be saved. Today, over 17,000 ibex live again in the Swiss Alps. The marmots are the guardians of the mountains, their shrill whistles warn of dangers while they fatten up for winter during the short summer months. Their sleep lasts 6 months, an adaptation to the harsh winters of the high Alps. The majestic bearded vulture with a wingspan of up to 3 meters was also eradicated in the Alps. Since the 1980s, a reintroduction program has been running that counts among the most successful nature conservation projects in Europe. But not only the wildlife is impressive. The Swiss Alps harbour over 3,000 plant species. The Edelweiss, the legendary mountain flower, grows in rock crevices up to 3,000 meters altitude. Its fuzzy leaves protect it from UV radiation and cold. Gentian shines blue like the sky. Alpine roses transform entire slopes into pink seas, and the rare glacier buttercup blooms even at the edge of glaciers. The Swiss National Park in the Engadin, founded in 1914, was the first national park in the Alps. Here nature can develop completely freely, a living laboratory for researchers and a refuge for wildlife. Water is the driving force of the Swiss landscape. Nowhere does this become clearer than at the Rhine Falls near Schaffhausen, Europe's mightiest waterfall. "700 cubic meters of water per second plunge 23 meters into the depths here. A natural spectacle that inspired even Goethe to verse. The Rhine Falls formed through shifts in the riverbed during the last ice age, a geological accident of sublime beauty. The Trimmelbach Falls in the Lauterbrunnen Valley are a wonder of a completely different kind. 10 waterfalls rage through the interior of the mountain and transport 20,000 tons of rubble and mud annually. The erosive force of the Alps in action. Everywhere in the Swiss mountains it bubbles, rushes and flows. The water that falls as snow on the peaks finds its way through rocks and valleys into the great rivers of Europe. Rhine, Rhone, Inn and Ticino all originate in Switzerland. The Swiss have learned to harness this power. Over 200 reservoir lakes collect the water of the mountains and make Switzerland one of the leading countries in hydroelectric power. Between the monumental peaks, the valleys of Switzerland wind like green lifelines through the mountain world. They are refugees of culture, oases of biodiversity, and witnesses of a millennia-old partnership between man and nature. The Lauterbrunnen Valley, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is the deepest of all Swiss valleys. 72 waterfalls plunge here from the rock walls, including the famous Starbach Falls that cascade from 297 meters height, like silver threads into the valley. For centuries, mountain farmers have shaped the face of these valleys, their farms built from the wood of centuries-old pine trees and the stone of the surrounding mountains are perfectly adapted to the extreme conditions. The steep roofs defy the snow masses, the thick walls the cold. The Engadin, the Garden of God as the Romans call it, is a high valley of unique beauty. Here at 1,800 meters altitude thrive over 300 days of sunshine per year. Larch forests whose golden yellow autumn coloring makes entire mountain slopes glow. The Engadin Lakes, Lake Sils, Lake Silvaplana, Lake Champfer, and St. Moritz form a string of pearls in the high mountain landscape. Their deep blue waters mirror snow-covered peaks and create panoramas of breathtaking beauty. The Verzasca Valley in Ticino tells a different story. Here, where the Alps meet the Mediterranean climate, chestnut forests grow and camellias bloom. The emerald green pools, natural basins in the rock, are like jewels in the Mediterranean mountain world. Each valley has developed its own architecture. The stone bridges of the Verzaska Valley, the wooden houses of Appenzell, the Mayens of the Valais, they are all answers to the challenges of the mountain world. The valleys are also lifelines for wildlife. Deer graze on the valley meadows, chamois climb the steep slopes, and rare butterflies like the Apollo butterfly find their last refuges here. In the morning, when fog drifts through the valleys and the peaks rise like islands from a white sea, the mystical side of these landscapes reveals itself. The valleys of Switzerland are more than just geographical formations. They are the soul of the country. Switzerland, a small country with great impact. Here nature shows what beauty it is capable of when millions of years of time and the tremendous forces of the earth work together. From the icy peaks of the 4000ers to the warm shores of the Great Lakes, from the mysterious caves of the Jura to the blooming Alpine meadows. Switzerland is a concentrated wonder of Europe, but it is also a legacy of human relationship with nature. For centuries, people here have learned to live in harmony with the mountains as mountain farmers, mountain guides, scientists, and conservationists. Switzerland shows us that even the wildest nature and modern civilization can coexist harmoniously. This landscape inspires us to reconsider our own connection to nature. If you enjoyed this journey through Switzerland's natural wonders, then support our channel with a subscription and share this video with other nature lovers, because some wonders are too beautiful to keep to yourself.